In today's episode, we're comparing true wireless headphones. We've got all of these to compare. Which one's better? Well, let's find out. Okay, so this is going to be a three-part video. First part is going to be a comparison between the two SoundPeat, the QC32 versus the QC42. And then in the second video, we're going to be comparing the Dudios Ace versus the Dudios TWS. And in the third and final video of this series, we're going to be comparing the SoundPeats Q42 versus the Dudios TWS. The battle of the two premiums. Two budget premiums, I should say. Now, I've made individual videos on every single one of these headphones. So if you haven't seen it already, go watch them first and then come back to this video. Because I won't be covering in extensive detail. So in these series of videos, I'm going to be talking about things that matter to you. I'm going to be talking about the sound quality, the build quality, connectivity issues, if any, and the price. Is it worth your money? Is it worth spending the extra $20 or $30 for the more premium model versus the base model? So I'll be covering all of that in a three-part series. So without further ado, let's start with the first comparison. I'm going to be calling the SoundPeats Q32 as being the original, and I'm going to be referring to the Q42 as the new model. Original, new. Just to make it easier for the purpose of this comparison. Alright, let's firstly talk about sound quality. Okay, so the sound quality, this one has a slight edge over this. And that's purely because of the the dual dynamic drivers that I talked about in one of the videos. So in terms of the case itself, I actually prefer the original one, purely because there's a higher battery capacity. For memory, it charges up to 35 hours, whereas this is about 17 or 15, I can't remember now. This will last you a bit longer. So if you're not into charging your device all the time, go for this. This will last longer. What about the build? Well, this does have a really premium build to it. The earbuds feel more premium than the original ones, but look, at the end of the day, I don't see them, either of them breaking that easily. Like if you were to drop it or anything, it's fine, and it shares the same amount of weight as well. The fitting though, there's a bit of a difference. So the original fits into your ear like this, whereas the Truengine kind of like your earpod style. Okay, so if you prefer these sort of fitting, go for this. If you prefer something that hangs down, get this. So my personal preference is I prefer this. One thing that people seem to care a lot about is the connectivity in terms of video, audio lag, disconnects and that sort of stuff. So I wanted to make it clear in this video that when it comes to connectivity, okay, the original are superior than the new ones. I take the same path to and from work every single day, and I've used it on the plane when I travel interstate for work. These would often have slight disconnect over these. And what I mean by disconnect is that imagine you're speaking to someone on the phone and there's a bad signal and you can only hear a little bit of what they're saying. It's kind of breaking out. So this is an example of a typical walk from Melbourne Central to Flinders Street station. As you can see, the red dots that I've marked on the map are the new version. That's where I experienced the breakouts. And the green dots, represented by just the two there on Collins Street and near the Flinders Street station, that's when the original displayed a slight disconnect. This gets affected far more greater than this. So if that is a concern to you, stick with the originals. I must say this is one of the flaws that that annoyed me the most when using the new ones. So the last thing I want to talk about, I guess, is it's the price, right? So there is a $20 gap between the two. Now, if I was in a position that I have to choose between one or the other, I would save the money and go for the original ones, because I think, you know, despite the music quality being a bit inferior compared to the newer version, but when it comes to charging capacity, connectivity, all the things that I've talked about so far, I'll go with the originals. But that's not to say that, you know, these are bad at all. These actually have an official IPX6 waterproof rating, and I've done tests on it where I soaked the headphones in pretty much in water, and they still work afterwards. It's also compatible with Siri and Google Assistant. It can also control your volume up and down, whereas the older version couldn't do that. If you purchase either one of these, you'll be happy. Let's wrap up this first video. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about the Dudios pair in the next video. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.